All right, everybody, it's our weekly team call. Can you believe it is the 5th call of 2016? It is flying by. Today is my 4-year anniversary of the date since I pushed play. And, you know, I was working out today and really thinking about that and just thinking about how I'm still on track. There's been many times that I fell off track, and I fell off track big time and got ran over and stayed there for a long time last summer. But my coach was still on this journey, and that is what inspired me to get back into the fitness, because I wanted to make her proud, because she was there paving the way, and I started duplicating what she was doing too. And because she had been a pretty open book in 2015 that she was struggling, and I saw what she did to get back. And I just keep thinking about all these people that come onto our team, other teams, join Team Beachbody, and there's, as you stay a coach, you're going to meet people on Facebook, you're going to meet people when you go to events, and then they're going to disappear and they're going to quit. And I just keep thinking that 4 years I've been on this journey. 4 years I've been on this journey. And if Becky had quit, where would I be? I wouldn't have had somebody to get me back going on fitness. Look how many lives she has helped in her course of 5 years of being a coach. And think about all the people that started when she did that quit, and all the people that lives are affected they don't even know because of that person never stuck in there. Because for me, people have been watching me for years. One of my newest coaches, Kelly, watched me for 3 years before she joined the team last week. So think if I had to quit, think if I had given up because I got no's, given up because, you know, it seemed like nobody cared. The thing is, we do care about you, and that is the biggest thing that I want to talk about and encourage you all to invite 5 people a day to the 5 series calls that I'm going to be doing in February. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for our team. I'm doing it because I'm going to be sharing your stories. I'm going to be sharing what it is about coaching that keeps us here. Sam is still here with me. She was one of my original coaches. So is Melissa. You know, I've been really thinking about why are the 2012 and 2013 coaches still here? And why did a lot of the 2014 and 2015 coaches leave? You know, what changed there? And it was the personalization. And then I thought about the deep connections that I had with those people when my team was small, when it was easy to manage. And then I didn't have a balance. And so, you know what I did is I went back and I started rebuilding all of my relationships. And as I've done that, I've gotten these stories from the people that have hung in there with me for all these years. And as I've made sure that I've onboarded all my new coaches recently with that same personal touch, but actually a little bit better because I learned from the past, they're doing amazing things just like my 2012 and 2013 coaches were doing. And one of the things that Kelly said that held her back was that she didn't think that she could speak on calls like this. She didn't think she could do public speaking. And then I realized that I've done a pretty awful job over the last 3 years of explaining where I started and how far I've come. And that is so important in the journey because I now maxed out at 5,000 friends. I had like 200 or 300, I don't even know, when I started. And it's so important for you to keep sharing your story, because here was somebody that I portrayed coaching a certain way. And, you know, some people don't ask, some people assume, some people, you know, it appears a certain way that you have to do that. And so I realized that I needed to do a little bit more. I've done coach sneak peeks, I've done coach opportunity calls, but this series is totally different. I am going to be sharing the emotional side of coaching, what it has done for this team, what our team's culture is. I saw a post that Dana Lozano tagged me in this evening. What her why is to bring her husband home because he works so hard so that her and their 3 kids can stay at home and be homeschooled. And I've talked to her several times and been one-on-one calls, and I cried with her. And then she posted something, and he just said, I'm just now seeing this from work. And I thought, this is what we're working for. This is what we're doing to help people I want her to be able to bring her husband home or have it where he doesn't have to work so long. And so these are the stories that people don't get when we post our transformations, when we say, come join our challenge group. And these calls are going to be sharing stories from all of you guys, the things that I've learned from you, the things that have changed, the fact that I'm even willing to do a series of 5 videos open to the public, to people I don't even know, when literally almost 3 years ago to the date, corporate asked me to make a video about my story. And, with YouTube, you put it on YouTube, yeah, people watch it, but you don't know that they're watching it. It's not in front of you. And I froze. I thought I was going to throw up. It took 45 times for me to get that video right. Then I made myself watch it over and over and over and over again until I didn't want to vomit. And it still wasn't easy, And so those are the things that I don't tell people. Those are the things that I posted when I was in Atlanta. I'm like, wow, this is the biggest crowd I have ever spoken in front of, 400 people. And then all these people were saying, I could never do that. I'm like, yes, you can. But then I just left it at that. And then I didn't share with people the progression of how I changed my life. And so this is what the series of calls are going to be, is sharing not just mine, but all of the things that I have seen you guys do that cannot be measured by a tape measure, by pictures, by a scale, or anything. And so I'm inviting you to get 5 people every day invited. The schedule is in the Team Relentless group, but we have one on the 4th, which is Thursday. That's the biggest one. I was asked about an event invite. What I'm doing is, I have so many events coming up. What I'm doing is, once that event is over on Thursday, I'm going to copy it and move it on to another one instead of having 5 out there. But the dates are there. The next one is going to be on the 7th at 8 p.m. The next one is on the 17th at 8:30. The next one is on the 22nd at 9:30. And the next one is the 28th at 4 p.m. I'm doing all different days, all different times to help to reach people. And why I'm asking you to bring people on is because sometimes, especially for the new coaches, it's hard for you to formulate what it is. And one thing that I heard today on a mastermind that Amber and I were on with all the 7-star diamonds in the West region was that as coaches, especially as older coaches, we get the coach lingo, we get it, and we just assume that everybody knows what it is. And that's what I realized that I've been doing, that everybody just assumes that what coaching is. And when I started, I would put posts out there that dealt with objections, that dealt with what coaching is, and it was very, well described in a non-salesy manner. But then I stopped doing that because I just thought everybody knew, because I knew, because it became second nature. And so I'm going back to basics. I'm learning a lot myself. And, I want you guys to get on as well, because this is going to, you're going to hear stories from people on our team. And I hope that you can chime in as well. And what I'm doing for my personally sponsored coaches is that if some of you could manage the event invites while this is going, because this is in beta form, really. I don't know if this is going to work. But if somebody can field it, and answer questions there or whatever, but whoever signs up as a coach under one of my personally sponsored coaches while we're on the call, or within 24 hours, if they've watched the recording, they're going to get a special gift from me. So those are some incentives. But make sure, like I just said, when you're talking to people, inviting them, don't just say, hey, my coach is doing this thing about what I'm doing, and I'd like you to, join. They don't know. Explain this. This is a team, and we have a culture, and we're a family, and this is what we're wanting to share. And there's some great things that are very motivating that I'd love for you to listen in. Would you give me 30 minutes? And if you don't have 30 minutes, would you watch the recording? If they can't watch the recording, would you be available another date? Or if not, do you know somebody else? Find ways around objections, but explain to people. Tell them that it's a Zoom call. Tell them that they can call in if they don't want to show their face. Tell them they could put a sticky note over their camera. They don't want to be seen on camera. Tell them that you don't have to have a computer. They can do it from the app. Make sure that you're covering all the bases, because people are just automatically going to say no because they already think they know what it is, but they don't. So make sure that you're educating them about what it is you're inviting them and why it's important to you that they listen to your message. And then ask them if somebody else could, be interested. So, that was what I was going to say. Last reminder is about the push. I've posted about it over and over and over and over again. The push is the second training that we've done within Diesel Nation. And that's one thing about the call that I'm talking about, is that we have the best upline and the best team. But we are doing the second annual push, which is basically a pot where you can get prizes, but it's like grade A training from the leaders of Diesel Nation put out for you, Diesel Nation coaches. And it's a $10 pay-in. And I mean, $10, that even if you don't reach diamond at that point and get part of the pot or possibly win a trip to Miami, you're still getting great content. You're getting access to that. You're investing in yourself. And the thing is, take a chance on yourself. Because so many people say, well, what if I don't advance to diamond? Or what if, I can't watch all the videos? Or what if you can? What if you can? Do your best. So tomorrow's the deadline. It's $10. It's in Team Relentless. If you can't find it, ask your sponsor to help you with it. But I highly recommend you sign up for this, because I've had a lot of people turn down a lot of opportunities and then later on regret it. And regret is the worst thing that you can possibly live with. Lastly, is something that I shared with my personally sponsored coaches, but I want to share with all of you because there's a lot of new coaches and new faces on here. I always keep a big supply of packets. And so I know new coaches don't always have the money to invest or don't want to give up their Shakeology to send out. So I always am willing to send care packages of 7-day trial packs straight to your customers if they PayPal me or send me a check. So this is my way of doing this for you, so that, if you have people who are kind of on the fence, then they're able to try it and they are basically going to be your customer, but I'm helping you out. So anyways, that's all I have to say. I'm going to introduce Amber. She was somebody that whenever I became a coach 4 years ago, she was part of the elite top 10. And I thought that I could never possibly be elite, because I thought that these elite coaches and these top coaches had something I didn't. And, we all are cut of the same cloth. We all can do it. And I have watched her grow, and I've watched her struggle, and I've watched her share her journey, her stories. And I asked her to speak on here because we've been working together and really helped each other kind of in a real rough spot over the course of January. And she has an amazing story that I just thought would inspire you. And maybe it's a story that you could go back and share other people who you are working with who don't believe that they can lose weight. They don't believe that they can be successful at if they have 150 pounds to lose. So I'm going to unmute you, Amber, and make you, okay, there you go.
Wait.
All right.
Hey guys. I was clicking through and I was like, Mindy has boys on her team. We don't have any of those. There are boys on the call. I won't say anything inappropriate. But hi guys. Thank you for having me. Mindy asked me to speak to you guys a little bit about how I got started, even though I was definitely not quote-unquote coach material yet. And I feel, how much time do I have? Does it matter? I mean, I'm not going to talk a lot, but if you don't watch me, I will for a long time.
They're used to me. Trust me.
I'm like, okay. I feel like just knowing you, they're probably going to be okay with me. So I think we're going to be all right. So my name is Amber. Most people, if they know me as Amber Scott, because that was my last name when I was top 10. And when I got to do the private jet thing and all that stuff. So it's Amber Snow now. I lamented on that a lot. Should I change it? Should I leave it? Oh, my following is not going to know what's going on. But it turned out my ego's pretty big and it actually didn't matter at all. So Amber Snow now, if you're looking for me under Creating a Destiny as well on Facebook. I started coaching in 2011 actively. I actually became a coach earlier than that. I started my fitness journey in late 2009, early 2010. So when I actually started my journey, this whole thing, I was well over 300 pounds. I was recently divorced. I lost 2 of my houses and filed bankruptcy. And I was just if you can think of something that was going wrong, I covered it all. Drinking too much, binge eating, addictive shopping, obviously divorce, bankrupt, etc. I was suicidal. I was the hottest mess ever. If you met me, you would probably not recruit me. I wouldn't recruit me, right? It was one of those situations. I'd be like, oh, geez, let's get you a book or something to start with, right? probably where I'd start me if someone like that showed up on my doorstep. Can I suggest some light personal development? Good Lord. But the way it worked out, I had a really, really rough day, and I was probably in my darkest point, and I went to the gym. I took all 300 pounds of me to the gym, and I don't know what it was that took me there. I think I remembered it, having enjoyed it for a small period when I was younger. And then I yo-yo dieted and bulimic and all that stuff like for most of my life. So I went through periods of intense fitness and then nothing. And I remembered I liked kickboxing. I walked into a turbo kick class and embarrassed my way through an hour of kickboxing. If you guys have ever done turbo fire, you know what that looks like if you don't weigh 300 pounds. So it was a lot, but I didn't leave. And I went up for whatever reason, I went up to the girl in the front, and I asked her, I remember it so clearly, how skinny do I have to get to teach one of these? I had apparently found my calling. I wanted to do that, but I wasn't clearly ready. She laughed, like actually laughed at me, and was like, that's not how it works. And she pulls out this 8.5 by 11 paper, like a printer paper of her before and after. She just printed it and carried it around with her. The girl's 4'11". Okay, she's like comes up to like here on me, and she's lost 65 pounds. So the transformation was very dramatic. And I was like, I'm in. What do I do? What? She asked me to come to a business opportunity meeting. That's not what she said, obviously. And she was like, I'll drive you. It's up in Orange County, which is like a couple hours north of my house. And I was like, well, I mean, she's very small. If she tries to kidnap me, like, I could take her. I'll get in her car, whatever, right? Well, I got to see some people speak, and Craig Holiday was there, and Holly Haverman was there, and I'm a platinum presenter, in case you guys are wondering. And I was in. I didn't even tell her. I went home, signed up to be a coach. I just went home. Signed up to be a coach, not on HD because I'm a jerk. I didn't know. She never got a successful point out of me. And I didn't tell her. She saw me at the gym. I decided to start going to her class only, Tuesday and Thursdays only. But here's how I figured it, you guys. Back then, there were no challenge packs, right? So you paid $40 to sign up, and you paid for Shapeology. It has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I was like, well, if this is a load of crap, I can return the whole thing. If it's not a load of crap, I'm going to want the next month. So it'll be cheaper. This was all I was thinking. Well, it turned into this whole life. It turned into this whole life on accident. What was crazy was I never meant to start a business. I tell people that all the time. I never meant to start a business, but I did mean to ask people to come with me. When you looked at me and I was shy and I sort of hated everyone and I'm very introverted naturally and, I'm overweight. I'm not screaming fitness coach, but I did know that I wanted to take people with me. And I didn't do it out of a benevolent agenda originally. It wasn't like, oh, I want to help you. Honestly, it was like, I don't have any friends that are going to go on this journey with me and I'm lonely and this sucks. So I'm just going to talk about this to everyone so that I can have some fit friends and some positive friends and frankly, any friends, right? Because you guys, if anyone's been through a divorce, it gets awkward. Who can you hang out with, right? So it was one of those situations. So I did everything you can think of to just bring people. I would invite people to the gym. I would do things walking around the golf course. I posted all the time about going on hikes. I just went all in. I posted about Shakeology. I posted pictures of my food. And I look back now on those pictures and nobody wants to eat that. Like, really? I would never post some of those pictures now because they were just so bad. Now I'm worried about the filter on Instagram, right? But it didn't matter because I built my business on this raw, real vulnerability of hey, I'm going and I think it's going to be amazing. So you should come with me. And at the very least, come with me so I don't fall off, please. And by not approaching the business as you should do what I say, you should do what I do. I'm the coach, but we should do this. We should build this. You should come with me. You should support me. I need you. I was able to create a successful business even still being overweight. One of the things I tell my coaches is, even if the person hasn't contacted you yet, but they're following you, they already have a story. The story to me is simply where you were, a decision that was made, and where you're going. So if someone hasn't even reached out to me, but they're following me on Facebook, their story is, I'm a little bit unsure. I'm really sick of being overweight and tired. I started following this girl on Facebook. She's really inspiring. She gives me hope. I'm hoping that I'm going to make a change soon. That's the story. My story on day one, before I'd ever had Shakeology, was, you know what? I was in such a bad place. And embarrassing my way through this class, as I like to say, meeting this girl, she told me her story, and I'm inspired, and I signed up, and my Shakeology is on its way, and maybe it'll suck, and maybe it won't, but either way, I'm just glad I took a step at all, one direction. Like, that's the story. I haven't even tried Shakeology yet, haven't even done a Beachbody workout, and I have a story. And then you just start to collect these stories. The first time you do something, the first time you do a workout, first time you finish a program, the first time you fall off and have to get back on, the first time you spill Shakeology all over your car. We've all done all the firsts, right? They're all stories. And as you collect them and you move along, you become relatable to more people. I always tell people, you can help everyone who's right where you are and behind you. And as long as you keep moving, the number of people you help can get bigger, or can help gets bigger. And as you move forward, it just gets bigger and bigger, all the people that you can help. So you collect these stories, and then you can share them, and then you're more relatable to this person and now to this person. And as you go along, I feel like at first it was everybody who was my first fit club, right? I started a fit club under the same thing of, hey guys, if I start a fit club, it's early Saturday morning, that'll keep me from drinking all the alcohol in San Diego on Friday night, because I know I have to be here for you guys. It worked. It worked. I did not go out on Fridays because I knew I had to be in one piece for them, not for me. So as I started it, if you look at the first pictures of my fit club, everyone is very overweight. Like, you know, my overweight or more. And then I ran that fit club for 2 years. And you'll see that, like, it got to be a very fit group. And we went from doing hip hop abs to asylum. You know, but it took a while. And I had to take them with me. And what was nice about this is that in this business, even if you are super introverted, you're allowed to be on when you have to be on. And then you can go be off. If I had to prepare myself energy-wise for a fit club, I could do all that and then go home and be alone, be with my best friend, be with my then boyfriend, later fiance, now husband. Like, you don't have to be all the time. A lot of people, I think, oh, I could never be in front of a Group X class. Well, you don't have to do that. You can just save your energy for doing a business opportunity meeting, or doing a webinar, or writing a really good post, or doing a team call. And the rest of the time you can recharge however you want. So when I look at someone like, well, they have some stuff to work on personally, they have a long journey, or they're not really good with people, I don't see like, oh, they wouldn't be a good coach. It's how is coaching going to work for them? Who can they help? Who can they reach? Who can they reach and help that actually wouldn't even care about what I had to say? I have a couple women on my team, a crazy postpartum depression, just so hard. And that was the beginning of their journey, was pulling themselves out of that. And at their worst moment, when they were gaining baby weight instead of losing it and having like super depression, that is when they started their coaching journey. And I feel like they reached people, and they continue to reach people with that story, that don't want to hear from me. I don't have any kids. But there's a special group of people who are only going to be helped by those women. And not when they've overcome it and everything seems perfect, but as they are moving through it, they can grab one person behind them and move. And that person can grab another hand and keep walking. But I really feel like people get too stuck on who you have to be and what you have to look like, and do I have the right headshots? And you see these coaches just like taking things however they're taking them. And you can just be yourself and help the people that you can help, and it grows on its own. I tell people all the time who are like on the fence about coaching, like when I started my fitness journey, I had a goal weight. And I hear this a lot. When I get to my goal weight, I'll start coaching. Have you guys ever heard that? Can I get like a, or have you even said it maybe? I tell people all the time, I have been a coach. I just had my 5-year anniversary. I have never hit my goal weight, which means the 1,000 people in my downline, the 60,000 people on my Facebook page, the 4,000 Instagram followers, my 20,000 people on my email list, all would have had nobody. Because I never would have started if I would have waited to get to my goal weight. I still wouldn't have started. And you think getting to my goal weight would have been any easier? Probably not. Because the only reason I lost 110 pounds is because of all of that ridiculous accountability. So like, would I have even had success? I don't think so. Because I know what I wanted to be doing with my time. And it was not reading personal development and doing workouts and taking care of myself. It was self-destructive behaviors that were not going to take me anywhere but where I already was. But as an obligation to everyone else, I made those changes. And in turn, thousands of people have made changes without me ever hitting my goal weight. So I get a little fired up about this because I get really frustrated when people put restraints on when they are willing to help someone, what the conditions have to be for them to help someone, because to me, that's all ego. That's all being self-centered. That's all worried about yourself. And so you don't really want to actually help anyone. Because if you did, you wouldn't be worried about what they think about you. You know? You'd just be offering to help. And it's interesting because health and fitness is so emotional and weird. But like, some people are just natural helpers. Like if you saw someone drop something on the ground, would you really legitimately go through all the reasons why maybe you're not the right person to help them pick that up? I don't think so. Like, I don't know if I can pick up all those papers. I'm not strong enough. Like, what? Like, you wouldn't. You would just bend down and help them if that's your personality. But then when it comes to health and fitness, now, oh, I'm not good enough. Help this person pick up their life, their relationships, their finances. Now I'm not good enough. I don't know where that comes from because I've always just been that way where I just help people. And like, it's just very natural to me. I think maybe when I was younger, it was more out of a like, I need to be needed sort of thing. But it served me well now, but obviously I've moved past that as all the personal development comes with this. But like, I don't know where that comes from. And I don't know that you guys are necessarily the audience that needs to hear that exact message. But there are people in your lives and on your teams or in your challenge groups right now, or just even on your Facebook or your Instagram or wherever, who do need to hear that message. Because they're thinking those things. You guys are here. You made the leap, right? So I don't necessarily worry about you guys. It's the people that you're trying to help that have that mindset. And it could be as simple as just, oh, sorry, my husband is doing something weird. The door's closed. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, maybe you can share things from your journey at the beginning, because people will forget where you came from. Or try not to be so perfect. You guys, you know, like Chalene Johnson's #1 liked video is when she fell off the footstool and said fuck. Have you guys seen that video? She didn't take it down. You guys can find it. It's hilarious. And everyone was just like so happy that she was a human being. So maybe it's not as dramatic as mine, but maybe there's places where you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to hide what being a coach really is, which is just being a human, helping other humans. And just like share the pieces of you that aren't perfect and aren't polished. And it doesn't always have to be 6-pack abs and, you know, perfect workouts. Show the part of the workout moves where you screwed it up and were too tired and had to take a break, and show the parts where, you know, you didn't do well and you're feeling like kind of bummed that you went off your meal plan, but now you're getting back on. I invited someone to be a coach when I was sitting in the airport on Saturday. And I just messaging her, and I was like, I love you so much. I'm so glad we're friends. We connected through this Seahawks group, and she's so positive. She's always like so inspiring, and I just love her to pieces. And she's adorable. She's a makeup artist. And she says to me, hell no. And I was like, that doesn't bother me at all. I was like, why not? She goes, I've seen what you guys do. I'm not interested in those crazy burpees and jumping off things and all of this. Like, she was going on about how, like, I'm not working out that hard. Y'all are nuts. And I was like, girl, first of all, have you ever seen a video like that from me? First of all. And then I gave her my take on coaching, which is empowering people, educating people, giving them tools, facilitating relationships, building a community, just creating financial fitness in the world. And for me, really showing women that your life is yours. And you don't really have to be a victim to any circumstance or situation or anything like that. That's my thing. And she was like, oh my God, like, that's everything I believe in. And I was like, I know, right? That's why I'm hitting you up. And she didn't know, but that is like the perception. And if you're not preaching what your values are and what you believe in and things about this that aren't perfection and professionalism and all that, people won't know that they don't have to be that in order to be near you and be part of what you're doing and to pay it forward. So I don't even know. I do not know what I'm talking about right now. You need to cut me off because now I'm just talking. I'm just like, it's like story time and you guys are all sitting on the ground like listening to my
Everybody's pretty much mesmerized by it, so keep going. Nobody's gotten off the call, so you're you got a good percentage of holding
like they're not hanging up. It's good. Well, I mean, but are you guys feeling this? Like, have you experienced this, or at least for yourself, or seen it around you, like that fear, your workouts suck? Your arm is paralyzed. In a weird way, it's relatable. Yes, because everyone has a reason why they can't do a perfect workout. There's a girl in my challenge group right now who has, is it called plantar fasciitis? And she's devastated because she can't do all of her stuff. And I've got another girl with a broken toe because she can't do all of her stuff. And I spend my whole one-on-one. I do a group Zoom for my challenge group on Thursday nights. And whoever shows up, they can ask questions. We chat about what went well, what was difficult, whatever, just to get that connection because there's so many of them, And I'm like, well, what is your definition of success? And of course, I get like blank looks. They're like, well, obviously the definition of success is to be able to do everything right? No. I'm like, well, what is your definition of success? For me, I've gone through different periods in my journey where I had to do 100 days of a healing diet, wasn't on a workout at all, couldn't drink Shakeology. How the hell am I going to work my business? Didn't hurt me then, still got a few successful points. I was fine. And I never was quiet about what I was doing. It was not a secret that I wasn't working out. It wasn't a secret that I wasn't on Shakeology. It did not affect my ability to help anyone because they knew I believed in it. And I was going through something, and as soon as that was done, I'd be back. That kind of stuff. I see it all the time. Oh, that's my coach. Hi, Kristen. I invited some of my coaches. So I really feel like now I'm distracted because now somebody I know is on the call. I don't know what's going on. Shit. Hold on, guys. Okay. I was saying something. No, I think we're done. I think we just we should cut our losses and quit while we're ahead at this point. Maybe people have questions. I'm better with questions anyway.
Does anybody have any questions? I'm here.
I don't see any little chat or anything.
Anything? Anybody? You can unmute yourself.
I have a question. So you were in the top 10. Talk to us a little bit about what your journey looked like through that and what was I just hit elite this year, and I know there was some changes in our team and there's some big growth, but if you were talking to a platform of people that were wanting to go for top 10, what would you talk about?
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. Top 10, that was a ride. Holy crap, man. I got to go guest speak at a diamond retreat this weekend in Arizona, and that was really cool because I like to speak to the leader, and sometimes you can't say things to the rest of the group that you can say. to the leaders, just because it was scary. But I would say, if I could do it again,
You wouldn't?
I would say, if I could do it again, I would do it differently. I would still get there, but I would do it differently. I would not have placed as much value on the end goal as I would have placed on building what was going to be an incredible team to enjoy that with. I recruited more than any other coach in the top 10 that year. And as you can imagine, that's a lot of people.
How many people that year?
How many?
Yeah.
Oh, God. A couple hundred at least.
And did you have an assistant? What was your onboarding system? Because you're right. That's a lot. That's a lot of coaches.
So the question is, how do you handle all of them effectively? That's the point.
Yep.
I didn't. And I think because I didn't have a good, solid way of building leadership on my team before I took on that goal for my own ego, that they were not in a position. Now, had I built something that was proven to build leaders, if I had, my 5 diamonds were solid, they were star diamonds, they were going elite. We had something that I really brought people into that was going to breed success. I could have managed that many people. I could do it now. But I jumped from one goal to another. I jumped from elite to going to top 10 like that. And my leaders were shaky. We just made it, right? We were new. My leaders were shaky. They were not ready to be on their own and build this. And with building, so I had to, instead of count on their successful points and their volume and all the things that would get you elite points, right? It was all on current year coaches. And to put that kind of mental pressure on the team, on them, on myself, without even having to say it existed. People can feel it. Without having real, tried, tested, solid foundations. I personally feel like I did a disservice to many of the people that joined my team that year, because I bet you they could have been successful. Now, they say, I don't have an upline coach. My upline coach doesn't work the business. I never needed anybody, all this, right? Like, that's happened to me, and I'm fine. But it's not the leader that I want to be. It's not the leader that I set out to be. It's not the team that I want to have. And it was in my control the entire time. Now, circumstances didn't happen to me. I created that. So looking back on that, I don't honestly believe the price that was paid through those people was worth, a trip to Italy and my picture on a wall. So I would do it. I would still do it. I would just do it very, very differently.
Thank you.
Don't send that to corporate, everybody. Okay? Keep that.
That was
According to your stuff.
That was very honest advice. Very honest advice. That's one thing that I've gotten into is, I was telling Christina Lewis the other day at her diamond dinner, and her coaches were talking about business that came up. And I was like, I had this goal in 2014 that I was going to get the cruise paid for to, Cozumel for the next year. And so I worked my ass off to do what we all should do. I did my research about 21 Day Fix. I was sharing it with my coaches, with my team. I was putting it out there. I had a blog. I had everybody knew what 21 Day Fix was because I was telling them. I was excited about it. I was counting down the days, and I ended up with 120 points in mine, and then 13 or something in Ryan's. And then Christina Lewis was like, oh my God, you did that. I'm like, yeah, I hit my goal that got the cruise paid for. But the thing is, I honestly can't tell you who finished, those 60 some odd people who finished 21 Day Fix. I lost that personal feel. And so I want to remind you kind of what she was saying is that you gotta have to find a balance. And if you're a new coach, you're gonna do these things. And we all have I wish I could have, or we should have done this differently. And it's just part of our story. We learn as we go. There's things that we change and do differently. And that's one thing Amber and I have been talking about a lot personally on our calls, is like refinding ourselves and who our audience is. And then I just realized when Kelly came on the team and I did a one-on-one call with her, and I saw my old self, and she helped me. It wasn't that I'm her coach. She helped me more, I think, than I helped her. And I started putting out there the old things that Mindy did. And you know what? In 1 week, she signed up last Monday. In 1 week, I have had like 20 people message me and say, I'm going to sign up as a coach. I'm saving money. I'm doing all this because I got back to exactly what I was doing. So I didn't have to reinvent who my market was. I just had to make myself relatable again because I was not relatable. Nobody can relate to this, So I had to go back and make myself relatable, because I thought I like to stay in my house for 5 days. I am an introvert. I have social anxiety. I'm just fine here. So I'm thinking like, well, that doesn't look like fun to people, and, but I've been honest saying that, hey, did you guys know that coaches are introverts, that most of us dress up really nice and go down there to the parties, take pictures, and then go back to our room exhausted, or we get completely fucked up drunk so that we can sit there and be there. And people were like, oh, I didn't know that, because everybody has this little box of what they think coaches are. And that's kind of what I'm going to be sharing on the business opportunity. But the thing is, get out of your head whatever it is. And that's one thing that Kelly and I talked about was certain ideals, and people have different ideals in their head that really don't exist to the rest of the world. It's just you, and so that is what limits a lot of people about coaching, is because you have this perfect little thing in your head of what a coach is like. And it was like Amber said, if you waited to your goal weight, well, where would you be? And I try to tell my coach, well, I want to finish P90X first before a coach. And she was like, you don't have to. And you know what? I think that if she hadn't have had, dealt with my objection and just said, okay, and give it up on me, and would I have finished P90X? There's a big question mark there. But the thing is, you just got to get started. And, Ruth Schreiner said on the call a couple of weeks ago that action is the seed of the belief. And one thing I want to tell all of you, especially you new coaches, and really all of you coaches who've been following people for a long time, is that everybody operates their business their own way. Operate your business what feels comfortable. Be yourself, and that's one thing that I have shared throughout the organization and given a lot of people freedom. Just be yourself, and show people. And it's really like what she was saying, it's the we, not I. People already feel like they're alone and that they're just a number and they don't matter to anybody. And so when you treat them like they are a number, that just builds up old feelings like that. And I look about how she ran her business, that it just kind of by accident happened. And then I look at my coach, who went in, paid the $39.95, and she was going to make it a business. She just was no matter what, she was going to. And she didn't even really have a why. She was making six figures as a corporate, project manager. Here's Amber, lost 2 houses, divorced, overweight, bankrupt. And, she didn't, that's the person you would think would be like, I need to make this work. So there is no cookie cutter, coach. But I heard a quote the other day. I said, treat your business like a business and it'll pay like a business. So the thing is, take this seriously. If you tell yourself, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I have time, I don't think I'm going to be good at it, well, then that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you go in there saying that this is like a business, and what Adam Borrego said, a lot of you know who he is in the team, and this is what I want to share in closing, is that he said, I'm going to do this for 6 months, and I'm going to do exactly what I saw Mindy and Ryan do. And I'm going to give myself 6 months, because that just seems like a realistic time, even though really businesses lose money for the first 3 years. He's like, I'm going to give it 6 months. And if it doesn't work doing exactly what they did, then I'm going to quit. And lo and behold, it took him about a month. But he did it. He hit Emerald. And then he has got all these people who are finishing their program saying, I want to prove, along with Adam, that you can do this in the oil field. His wife hit Success Club 6 and it went Emerald in like 2 weeks. And she got the whole, her mom's going, like all these coaches on his team is just blowing up so fast. Like, it's just crazy because he just got started, but he set some goals, but he actually was working while he was there. And it's the same thing I said with P90X. This shit ain't going to work. I'm going to drink this shake, and then I'm going to send it in before day 30. I'm going to call and send it in. But I did tell myself too, out of all fairness for this, I'm going to go all in. And I busted my ass. And on day 13 is when I became a coach. I wasn't perfect. I still am not perfect. And, you know, just get out of your head about the perfection, because honestly, people won't go to you when they think you're perfect. Like I tell people, have your videos of your house being a mess. Have your videos of your kids running around in the back, because that's what that's who we're trying to help, is the people that live everyday lives. So anyways, that's all I have to say. Next week, we have Melissa Bartow on with her success partner, Jen, and I can't pronounce her last name, and I honestly can't even remember her last name, but they're going to be on the call. And so they're going to be talking about how success partners work, and Melissa's got a new fire in her belly, and I'm really excited for her to share it with you. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have been keeping Team Relentless exciting. I literally believe that I've been waking up on my own early every day because I'm excited, because Team Relentless is the first place I check in, because there's so much excitement there. Everybody is happy, and that's my first happy place, and I haven't had that in a long time. So thank you for doing that and making others who come in on the team feel welcome. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I get my days mixed up. Yeah, I'll see you next Tuesday. Oh, yeah. We need to take